Hello everyone, my name is Bogdan and welcome to my Nidalee guide. Nidalee is a very strong jungle and mid lane pick who can carry games with her insane spear and cougar damage and her insane healing. Although Nidalee is a very hard champion to play, more of a master, with my guide you'll be able to play her to the best of your abilities, with some practice of course. Nidalee is an AP assassin with a melee and a ranged form, like Jason Elise. Just like Jason Elise, she does use mana, although her cougar form doesn't. Unlike other champions, Nidalee always manages to stay within the meta, making her a viable pick whenever you want. So without further ado, let's get straight into the guide. Let's move on to Nidalee's pros and cons. Nidalee is good at all stages of the game. Mid game is when she thrives. In late game, Nidalee tends to fall off just a little bit, but if you get fed early, she will be a monster. Nidalee has sustain built into her kit that scales with AP, so that jungle clearing should not be a problem. Nidalee also has a lot of AoE and single target damage, which makes your jungle clear very healthy. Nidalee has an execute. Once you get some CDR, she has a lot of mobility, and she has a large gap closer. Nidalee is still decent if you fall behind as long as you build the correct items. And she has a lot of ranged poke, following with Nidalee's cons. Nidalee is very hard to play, and there are many possible mistakes to make. She takes a lot of practice and is very hard to master. Nidalee needs items to scale. She has a narrow skill shot that she heavily relies on. She has no CC and is vulnerable to CC, and she's quite mana hungry. Let's move on to Nidalee's abilities. Nidalee's passive is moving through bushes increases her movement speed. Moving towards enemy champions increases her movement speed even more. Second part of Nidalee's passive is Hunt. Hitting an enemy champion with Q or W triggers Hunt. Hunt grants True Sight for 4 seconds and empowers abilities towards that target. Nidalee's Q. Nidalee throws a spear. The spear hits the first enemy hit. Nidalee's Q in cougar form is that Nidalee's next ability is empowered, executing enemies. The lower they are, the more damage it does. Nidalee's W. Nidalee lays an invisible trap. If an enemy steps on the trap, it triggers Hunt. Nidalee's W in cougar form, she leaps into the direction of the cursor. If an enemy is marked with Hunt, Nidalee's leap range is increased. Nidalee's E is a heal that grants attack speed from 1.05 attack speed to 1.43 attack speed. This ability could be very useful if you want to take objectives, and giving it to an AD carry such as Ashe or Vayne would be a very good idea. Nidalee's E in cougar form is a bit different. Nidalee slashes in a cone, dealing AoE damage. Nidalee's ultimate simply transforms her from her cougar form to her human form. This ultimate is available at level 1. For Nidalee's skill order, you first want to max Q, then E, then W. Take ultimate whenever you can. You want to max Q because it's the biggest possible damage you can get at range, and it's the first optimal choice. At max range with full build, your Q can do 1000 damage. Then you want to max E because the heal becomes bigger and the attack speed boost is a lot stronger. Especially by mid game is when you will be able to max E. It's going to be really good for taking things such as Baron, Dragon, and even turrets. Maxing W is not a very useful ability. It just gives you CDR in your traps and the possible amount of traps you can have. And you barely are ever going to use your traps, so that's not very helpful. Ultimate is very useful. Many people don't know that Nidalee's ultimate actually increases her cougar damage, but it does. At level 6, you get a power spike, unlike other champions that have the same ultimate type, like Udyr. Now let's talk about Nidalee's runes. So I usually take Dark Harvest. The reason why is because it just makes your Q damage stronger if they are low or below 50% HP, as you know. It also makes your Q in cougar form damage stronger, which is also good since it is an execute, and so is Dark Harvest. Sudden Impact really synergizes well with your leap. It'll grant you magic penetration as soon as your leap is finished, and is good for your execute once again and your E in cougar form. Eyeball Collection and Ghost Poro and Zombie Ward are all good options, especially as your jungler. Ghost Poro is good just for a little bit extra vision, which is one of your jobs as a jungler is to provide vision. Same with the Zombie Ward. Eyeball Collection is just for a little bit extra snowballing potential and a little bit. I usually take this in normal games just to have a little bit more fun. Ravenous Hunter is, I think, on the same level as Relentless Hunter in Nidalee's options. This just gives you healing on using your abilities, so if you hit a spear for a lot, you will heal yourself for maybe like 100 to 150 health late game. It's not bad. Neither is Relentless Hunter. This will allow you to gank more often. So this is good if you're playing ranked and you're planning on ganking every single lane, top lane, whether it be top lane, mid lane, and bot lane, and you want to do it fast. I suggest taking Relentless Hunter and Water Walking. So for the second tree, Absolute Focus. I think it's a good ability. I think it's a good rune on every single assassin since you want to be going in on full HP, assassinating, and then getting out. Neither of these really work for me. Nimbus Cloak is a little bit useless on Nidalee. I don't think it even works. Same with Nullifying Orb and Mana Flow Band. You can take Nullifying Orb if they have a lot of AP damage. Transcendence is a good option for Absolute Focus. I take Transcendence if I want to be playing as a far back caster. In that case, I would go full AP with on hit on my ability power, and so I would just cast my Q and hit as many spears as possible. When I'm playing Assassin, regular Nidalee, I take Absolute Focus. All of these three options are very good. In my opinion, Gathering Storm is good if you want to solo carry and Snowball, but Water Walking is not a bad option. All of these are optional. Nidalee's build. For this part of the guide, I will tell you what you should build for Nidalee, in what order, and in what situations to build them in. Starting in a jungle with a talisman and a refill pot is optimal for the AoE clear, heal, and mana regen. The reason why you go for refill pots instead of regular is because in your first back, you shouldn't buy any more pots because your next clear will be already good with the items that you buy. On your first back, you should have enough for a Dark Seal and a Red Smite. If you have more gold, go for a Dark Seal and Sheet. If you have less gold, go for just Red Smite. Your first full item should be Red Ability Power Smite. In terms of boots, it's your choice, but I prefer Magic Pen or CDR boots. After jungle item and boots, you should either start building towards your Lich Bane, for which you should already have Sheen, or you should, if you're going really well, you should go for Medjais. After Medjais, finish Death Cap. This item will allow you to get a huge power spike in terms of your healing and damage. The last item is your choice. If they're heavy AD or have a lot of assassins, take Zhonya's. If they have a lot of AP damage, take Banshees or Athenes. If you just want to get tankier, get Moronimakon, Rylai's, and Leandries. They're all really good options. In case you want to solo carry, I suggest Void Staff. Here's some animation cancels you can do with Nidalee. First is Auto Q. Especially if you have Sheen, it could do some significant damage. Auto E no longer works, but it will still grant you some attack speed. Auto W doesn't work either, so the only thing you could do is Auto Q. Some animation cancels in Cougar form are Q, W. So if you hold Q and you're walking towards an enemy, W will cancel the animation. Same thing works with E. Just make sure to use it at the same time. E, then W, or Q, then W. Another tip for Nidalee is that the Flash W. Flash can cancel your W's animation, but only if you do it correct. If you do W Flash, it's just going to cancel your W. So, say if I W Flash, I waste my W and I just use the regular Flash. What you want to do is you want to Flash W. So I hit my spear, and I jump really far. The indicator on Nidalee's hunt is a little bit false. So if you hit your spear and then you go to Cougar form, it is not when the target reaches the circle, but actually when the line appears. So say I hit my form, as soon as I get to about this range, I can already jump towards the target. This can just help you get a little bit distance. The target is clearly outside of my circle, but I can still jump towards them even to get my hunt off. Something that you should know, not just for Nidalee but for all champions, is a way to heal yourself faster. So if an ability allows you to heal yourself or others, you can either hold it and press on yourself, or you can press the Alt key and then press that ability. So right now, you hold Alt, and as soon as you press E, Nidalee heal yourself. So the reason why this is important is, for example, let's say you're diving someone, right? You're kind of in a fight. then you want to get out, right? You flash, and then you hold E, and you'll be safe. You don't have to flash, and then E, and then holding yourself, and then you accidentally heal a teammate, and you end up dying because you didn't heal yourself. This just ensures that your healing will be a lot better. Alright guys, that concludes my Nidalee guide. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you did learn something new. Please use these tips because Nidalee is a very good champion. She's quite underrated and quite underplayed. Maybe she'll get some buffs in the future, right? If any of you are watching this, just do it. She's totally not overpowered. Yeah. So like the video, subscribe, peace.